do?
Instruct him in the matters of loss and pain. Make him suffer. Make him wish he were dead.
Yes.
And then grant his wish.
But how?
The cunning warrior attacks neither body nor mind.
Tell me how!
The heart, Osborn. First, we attack his heart.
We just got done with our first pass of sanding on the helmet, and this is what the back panel looks like. So I thought it was very important to show you guys what you're actually looking for when you're sanding. So you can see there's a lot of mix of gray and red, as well as this lighter pink. And that lighter pink is the spot putty, the darker gray is our primer, and then the gray is our plastic. As you can see, you know, it's not all consistently one color, and that's not what you want to see. So basically what this is telling us is we have our high points, which are the gray, low points, as well as our really deep points, which the spot putty fill. This is usually what you're looking for your first couple passes of sanding. But the thing that's the most fun about all this is now we get to do this like 2 or 3 more times. So yeah, it takes a while. Okay, so I wanted to show that now I actually have my orbital sander. So you guys are interested in part making at all, especially with 3D prints, you're gonna wanna get one of these. I got this one a few years ago at Home Depot. I think it was like 35 bucks. They're really expensive if you buy them in hardware stores now, so I definitely recommend looking online. You can get sanding discs for these. This is like a variety pack with, I don't know, like 70 discs or something like that for around 15 bucks online, so they'll last you a while. I usually go through like one of those packs every 6 months, so now I'm gonna be sanding not by hand. Much more fun. Okay, we are back in the paint booth, and I just put the last coat of filler primer on the helmet. You can still see there's a little bit of a seam that needs to be cleaned up. That was because I spot puttied it before putting this last coat of primer on. But yeah, other than that, this bad boy is smooth. So yeah, very excited. Hopefully, if all goes well, I'm gonna be sanding this thing down tomorrow and putting on the actual like sandable primer, wet sanding, and getting this ready for paint. Yeah! We are done. It is totally sanded, and all that's left to go through and do is one pass of automotive primer so I can actually wet sand this, because I've tried wet sanding on the Duplicolor filler primer. It does not work well. And then on top of that, you got the teeth. So I went ahead and printed these a few different times in a few different orientations. Some of them came out better than others, so now I just need to go through and sand them. I had the display teeth in this before, but those were all actually really low quality prints. These honestly aren't exactly the best themselves, but they'll do good enough once they're sanded and everything. So I'm gonna be spot puttying those, working on some detail stuff, and the lenses are gonna be ready to go in by the time all this is sanded. Okay, finally time to put the actual wet sandable primer on. We had, I think, in total 3 or 4 entire separate coats and sanding passes on this helmet, but it's finally done. The seam looks so much nicer now. I was at a point where I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna put the last coat of primer on, but I pushed through, wanted to do one more, really get it cleaned up, and it really, really looks great now. Once we go through and wet sand this, it's fine if it's not all black by the end of it, if I sand off a little bit too much, just to make sure everything is properly smooth. Then we're going to put the black base coat on, which is going to be a gloss black, and then all the paint actually goes on. So, with how everything's looking, we're going to put the last coat of primer on tonight, gloss black tomorrow, actual paint on Thursday, maybe clear coat on Friday, and then assembly on Saturday. So that's the current timeline for this. So let's see if we actually stick to it. Because I was supposed to be done with this thing like a week and a half ago. But it's all worth it in the end. Alrighty, I have black paint all over my wrists, but it is done. Well, I keep saying it's done. It's nowhere close to be done. We still got the gloss black, and then the paint, and then the clear coat, but this part is done, and it looks mighty fine. So I'll probably do one last coat of primer on top of this one, just a second coat to give it a bit of thickness. That way I don't risk accidentally breaking through it while doing the last pass of sanding. But even just how the primer went on is pretty smooth. You don't really see any layer lines anymore, which I'm super happy about. And yeah, very excited. Hey guys, thanks so much for checking out the video. Hopefully it was helpful to a few of you that are working on similar types of projects. I know for me, sanding this helmet was definitely a bit of a learning curve. If you guys are curious in seeing how I go about the actual final paint job, be sure to check out episode 3, which should be up tomorrow. And yeah, like, subscribe, thanks for all the support, all that YouTubery stuff, and yeah, bye. Let's go. Yeah, Goblin time.